8 drug dealers have been sentenced after police busted a criminal network operating in Alnwick. Steven Brown and later his brother Shay acted as the head of the conspiracy to supply cocaine, while their brother Craig Brown controlled cannabis supply in and around the area. Operation Peach was launched by Northumbria Police in September 2023 and supported by the North East Regional Organised Crime Unit to investigate the supply of Class A and B substances in the town. Detectives soon identified Casey Lee Hopper, Tony Joyce-Scott, Ben Pattinson, and Jamie Pattinson as all working on behalf of Steven and Shay Brown, with the leaders directing their couriers to numerous locations to exchange drugs for payments. Craig Brown led a separate network supplying cannabis and was assisted by Graham Atkinson. Evidence gathered over a number of months through CCTV inquiries and suspect surveillance led to teams of officers executing simultaneous warrants in February last year. The investigation ultimately resulted in 8 men being arrested and charged with a series of drug offences. Steven Brown and Jamie Pattinson were also each charged with violent disorder in connection with a separate offence. The offenders pleaded guilty to their respective charges, and 5 appeared at Newcastle Crown Court on January the 24th for sentencing. Steven Brown, 34, of Vintners Court, Alnwick, was jailed for 12 years and 6 months after pleading guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine, 2 counts of money laundering, violent disorder, and being concerned in the supply of cocaine. Shay Brown, 27, of College View, Alnwick, was jailed for 7 years and 3 months after pleading guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine, being concerned in the supply of cocaine, and being concerned in the supply of cannabis. Jamie Pattinson, 23, of Vintners Court, Alnwick, was jailed for 6 years and 3 months after pleading guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine, money laundering, and violent disorder. Ben Pattinson, 27, of Pottergate, Alnwick, was handed a 2-year prison sentence, suspended for 2 years after pleading guilty to being concerned in the supply of cocaine. Graham Atkinson, 27, of College View, Alnwick, was handed a 6-month prison sentence, suspended for 18 months after pleading guilty to conspiracy to supply cannabis. The remaining 3 offenders appeared before the same courts at later dates. Tony Joyce-Scott, 25, of Upper Bearsdale, Alnwick, appeared on February the 14th and was jailed for 4 years after pleading guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine. Craig Brown, 32, of Ravensmead, Alnwick, was jailed for 3 years and 6 months on March the 28th after pleading guilty to conspiracy to supply cannabis and being concerned in the supply of cannabis. Casey Lee Hopper, 22, of Merchants Gardens, Alnwick, was jailed for 3 years and 1 month on March the 28th after pleading guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine. Superintendent Kevin Warren of Northumbria Police said, "This is an outstanding result, and I would like to thank all those involved in this investigation for their brilliant efforts and teamwork to bring these offenders to justice. Cocaine in particular is an incredibly addictive and destructive substance from which organised criminals seek to profit from the most vulnerable members of our communities. These individuals look to sell large quantities of these substances in Alnwick, and having identified this, positive action was taken, and this is the latest success for Operation Sentinel, our dedicated crackdown on serious and organised crime in the North East. The sentences passed will certainly send a strong message to those involved in similar criminality who believe themselves to be above the law." He said, "We will continue to work hard alongside our partners and communities to identify and take positive action against any such offending and ensuring justice is served." Detective Inspector Max Leonard said, "This has been a substantial partnership investigation, which is just the latest demonstration of the resources we have here in the North East to tackle this level of organised crime. We remain committed, along with our partners, to disrupt and dismantle all forms of illicit drug operations that are devastating in our communities. Please like this video, please comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my crime channel. Thank you."